Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you all for taking the time out to be here today. I know this is not our usual time on Saturdays, but we have someone all the way from Australia to impart knowledge on us today. Um, as you all know, that we've been holding these sessions every weekend on various topics, from gardening and hiking and meditation and art, and all of these. We've been doing this with one purpose in mind, right? To help you discover and further your passion. And all of these sessions are free, not because there's a lot of time and effort that goes into it, because there is a lot of time and effort that goes into it, but with the sole purpose of our way of giving back so that you can find the things that you love. Because we believe that there should be no entry barrier to knowledge. And hopefully one day you can further your knowledge and continue giving back to the community. And that's what we're here to do, correct? We're here to learn something new, something interesting, or something that we are passionate about, which is the essence of Enlightened Sapiens. We are a community that encourages you to grow and learn with the things that you love, so that when you're ready, you can give back with your knowledge, making it easier for someone else to do the same. And today we have a very inspiring person, Vijay Ravikumar, who wishes to give back with his knowledge on the mind and mindfulness. So I'm going to give you a quick brief about Vijay before we jump in. So Vijay is also known as the Float Guru, and he's a guide and coach, and he basically combines Vedic lifestyle and flotation tank techniques. And today he's going to help us move away from an abstract idea of well-being to a more practical approach of understanding ourselves better. He's going to equip you with the tools and techniques to find a routine that works for you, not for someone else, but works for you. And as you know, these sessions are interactive. So use the chat box and ask all your questions. And of course, use the raise hand. So I'm not going to take much of your time. Over to you, Vijay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Is my audio and video clear?
Yes, it's fine.
Okay, cool. So yeah, firstly, thank you for doing this. What you're doing is pretty amazing, because this is what we need right now, to give back and help everyone kind of move up. And yeah, thanks for the opportunity. So before I start off, I just want to find out a few things about what the crowd is like. What do you guys think about and stuff? So I want to start off with a poll because we're talking about transformation and well-being. How long do you think it takes for you to transform your life? This is something that I want to know so that I know who the audience are, and so that I can guide the whole session in a certain way. So if you can answer this, that would be awesome. How do I find out the response for this, Karan?
Yeah, so we just wait for a few, like 30 seconds for everyone to respond, and I'll share the results. It'll show up on your screen, Vijay.
Okay, no problem. So while that's happening, I just want to share my story with everyone before I start off. And also I want to go through what is the aim of our session today. And then I would like to discuss what is well-being, and how do we move it from an abstract way to something that's useful for you. And also I would like to, at the end of the session, give you some certain a way to come with your own techniques, come up with your own way of living, so that you can start using it instantly in your day-to-day life. So
absolutely.
just to
Vijay, sorry to stop you there. I think your video has gone off. If you can just turn that back on.
Is it cool now?
Yes, it is. Also,
okay, cool.
we've got the results of the poll. If you want to start off with that and then
please.
Continue. Okay.
Yeah, please.
I'm going to share the poll results with all of you. So the question was, how long do you think it takes to transform your life? And this is the result.
Okay, that's awesome. See, I can see here people think it takes about 6 weeks. 50%, 51%, 36 point something percent think it's 6 months. And a few people think 8%, 8.5% think it's 1 year plus. And 5% actually think never. Right. So that's really good for me to know, because when I started off my journey a few years ago, I actually thought that it's never. And I decided that this is what my life was going to be like. And obviously I come from Hyderabad. Then I was living in New Zealand, working as an engineer, electrical engineer. And on paper, my life was absolutely perfect. Your parents tell you to go find this job and then get a house and then probably get married and all these things, just like live your life how everyone's doing it. Not that anyone knows what they're doing, but everyone's doing it. So you'll probably end up happy one day. I did that for 8 years, and I tried to, it's about feeling good. And I tried so many things to feel good, because someone would say, oh, you need this kind of a diet. Someone would say, oh, you need this kind of a lifestyle. And someone would say, oh, this is what you're missing. You need fish oil. You need these supplements. You need to go to the gym every day. I was trying all these different things for a long time. And every time I got to it, someone would suggest something else, some new thing would come up, and I had to change my whole lifestyle. And I said, okay, I don't know what to do, because I'm not feeling good. I don't feel amazing, and I'm still trying all these things. So then I decided, hey, hang on, something is not right here. The people who are telling me they're not feeling amazing, everywhere I look, it has nothing to do with me, but there's so much research out there. Why is it that it's so hard for me to feel good about myself and feel good from within? And that's when I started my journey. And then obviously I quit my job. I found the flotation tank. For those who don't know what a float tank is, it's basically a zero gravity tank when you're floating in salt water. And we remove all your senses by no light, no sound, no taste, no smell. And as you're floating, the temperature of the water is the same as your skin. So after a while, you don't feel your body. So no touch. So all your five senses are deprived for 1 hour or however long you float. And that really helped me out in my life. And I became a coach for that. And my whole coaching, there was no coach before. So I came up with the idea and I started using that. And that's when I really started to help people and show them a way of living, which I kind of stumbled upon, which helped me. So that's what I'm doing right now. And that's why I'm able to share this with you, not from a book knowledge, but actually using it on me and helping my clients transform. And that's why I'm really excited about this, because it's nothing to do with, can you repeat, what is it called? It's called flotation tanks or flotation therapy. It's picking up in India now. It's pretty popular around the world. So if you Google flotation tanks, then you can find it. You go to usually a beautiful center where you have a couple of these tanks and you book yourself a session, and then you would go float for an hour, and then you come back and you feel a bit different. And then you can use the tank as a tool to transform your life. So because I was doing it all by myself, it took me about a year to transform my life. Then once I've condensed it down to a certain formula, then I realized, hey, you can do it in 6 to 8 weeks. And 6 to 8 weeks seems to be the number in which you can create enough momentum. So it's really good. That's why I wanted to know what is your thoughts, or what is the poll's thoughts. So basically, you guys are on the right track. Okay. And that's just a bit about me, what I'm doing. And currently I'm also producing psytrance and I make music. So I've got two sides to my life, which I'm trying to balance. So after this talk, I'm going to a party and I'm going to play a DJ set there. So it's just two different sides. And I'll show you how you can do the same for your own life. Now, because the main topic today is well-being, I want to start off by defining how I look at well-being. Right, because people have their own version of what well-being means to them. How I look at well-being is it's a state of consciousness that you hold within you that gives you a sense of freedom. That's how I would define well-being. It's a sense of freedom, of being able to do things you want to do with your body and being able to have a mind which is able to help you rather than kind of put you down or kind of have a negative impact on you. So as a being, well-being is actually a song. It's actually a tune that your being is playing. So that's what I would consider as well-being. If your song is nice, then it's well-being. If your song is not nice, then obviously the tuning is off. And I would explain a bit more on that, what I mean by that. So most people, when they think about well-being, they would think having a fit body. Or we don't even consider the mind or the mental side of things. And when I'm saying mind, I'm not talking about the brain. The mind is not in the brain. Brain is just an organ. Mind is your whole totality. So in terms of well-being, we would think, oh, well-being is about exercising, and well-being is about eating, a certain amount of calories and eating certain kinds of foods, and all these things you would constitute into well-being. When I was doing that side of well-being, I had a fit body, but it wasn't very useful to me because that body had to have a certain kind of lifestyle to maintain, but the lifestyle that I maintained wasn't happy or wasn't creating happiness for my mind. If I'm going too fast, please let me know. But if something connects with you, then definitely give me a thumbs up, or just leave a comment if you agree with it or if that connects with you. So having a lifestyle with a certain kind of a body and having a lifestyle that is disconnected with the mind, these two things, most people try and separate these two things when it comes to well-being. There's no connection because we feel there are two different parts, right? This is called a reductionist way of looking at things. The current well-being idea is called a reductionist way. What do I mean by that? Now, let me ask you a question. This is the second poll. How many of you have seen, Karan, if you can put the second poll up, please, whenever it's ready. My question is, how many of you with your own eyes have seen these protein, carbs, and fats? How many of you have seen it? And we all talk about well-being. And if I go out, people will say, oh, this food has so many calories. Oh, I'm on a low carb diet. I'm not eating any carbs. Oh, I'm on a keto, or I need 150 grams of protein, or I need protein in terms of kgs translated into grams and then double that. And that's what I need to make muscle. All these things that we talk about when it comes to fitness and well-being. How many of you have actually with your own eyes seen like, oh, this is 30 grams, or this is 30 grams of carbohydrates, right? I would like to know, because I don't know anyone who's seen it. No one. I've never seen it.
All right, Vijay, we're ready with the results.
Yeah. See, 6% have seen it. They could be working in a lab. And 94% have not seen it. Thank you. So you see, about 95% of the people have not seen it. Unless you're working in a lab, you're never going to see this. So my question to you is, why is it that we take well-being as something that needs to be done in a lab? Why is it that we don't think about well-being as something to do with you, rather than, oh, this is done in a lab, I need to take 1,000 milligrams of fish oil today, or I need to eat so many carbs, which is all abstract things that has no relevance to me. When I got into the flotation scene, people used to talk about, oh, this absorbs magnesium through your skin. No one knows this. No one has seen it. It's all in some paper that has no relevance to my well-being. And people take this on board and they make it into their thing, where it's just like, oh, I'm going to eat this, I'm going to do that. Vitamin C. Like, how many of you have actually seen vitamin C? But why do we talk in these terms? Right. Why do we talk in these terms? Because of the common way of thinking about well-being, which has become a reductionist way, which means we are reducing well-being into molecules and atoms. Right. If you ask a scientist of some sort today, they would just term happiness as a combination of serotonin and dopamine, whereas no one knows, no one has seen these things. Happiness to you can be just walking out in the sun with your friends or family. That has nothing to do with the lab. I hope you guys are trying get the approach that I'm using here, right? Of taking it in from an abstract lab-based system to a practical system. We haven't got to the practical side yet, but I'm just drawing the fence of what is it that we're dealing with here when it comes to well-being. And I used to do it. I used to take about 18 different supplements a day, right? I used to take nootropics and you name it. For example, when I used to train, all these protein powders and all these, what do you call it? Super pump kind of mixes, which gives you sudden energy burst, and think about coffee in terms of caffeine. And yes, someone says, but when we are happy, serotonin is secreted. How do you know this? How do you know? Do you feel the serotonin secrete in your brain? No. You've never seen it. You don't know anyone who's seen it. It's a concept. It's an abstract concept that defined, it's a language that scientific community uses to do it. Experiments maybe, yes, but we haven't done that experiment. That's only one way of looking at happiness. If that's the case, I will tell you, serotonin, the way people, if someone is depressed or anxious, they treat this in their brain, thinking the brain is the problem, and they give SSRIs, which is meant to replenish your serotonin. Why doesn't it work? Because serotonin is only one aspect of what the whole is. The whole is infinity. We don't know the whole. It's only one aspect. That's the problem with fish oil. For example, you take fish oil and you extract the fish oil from a fish. The fish oil, when it comes from a fish, is amazing for you. It's great when you eat the fish by itself, which contains the fish oil. You will never find a straight fish oil concentrated without all the other supporting chemicals in it, which we haven't thought about ever in nature. Impossible. So why are you taking this separated thing and then putting it in your mouth? For example, if you are out in the park with all your friends and you feel good, your body feels great, the sun is out and you're having a good time, can you pinpoint why you're feeling good? You will say, oh, because I'm drinking something. No, it's a combination of the whole. Reductionist method is to put it into different pieces, and the pieces are infinity. Right. As a question, I'm happy for some time and actively positive energized to do something productive. Sorry, I'm just going through questions. I missed that one, sorry. So if it's a question, just keep it short so that I can go through it. So the idea I'm trying to introduce here is a different way of looking at things, where you don't have to remember things. Well-being is not something you have to remember and memorize and base it on someone else's paper, base it on someone else's research, base it on what the latest research says. No, humans have been around for thousands of years, and especially sapiens have been around for thousands and thousands of years, and people have lived a great life. Right. And the problem I'm trying to describe first before giving the solution is that we have to start looking at things from a reductionist point of view. Stop looking at it from that sense and start looking at it from an integral point of view. A wholeness. It is based on a chemical process in the brain. But have you seen it? Have you, with your own eyes, seen this chemical process? No. Have you done the experiment? No. And the chemical process is only one language. There's a physical process happening. There's physics interaction. There's biological process happening. There's a quantum process happening. The moment you look at quantum biology, it will completely blow your mind because all the other stuff falls out because this becomes old technology. See, science has gone so far that common sense takes 20 years to catch up. Right. And if you notice, 10 years ago, for example, I'm not against science, don't get me wrong. I'm just showing you what's happening, what I've observed. Egg white was amazing. Then they said egg yolk is amazing. Then they said, no, don't eat the egg yolk, don't eat the egg white. Then they said, eat it together because it's a balanced unit that nature provides, which we knew ages ago. You see, what I'm trying to say is only do things that you have observed. Why? Do you know anything other than your own experience till now? I don't think so. I haven't met anyone till now that who knows you only know anything through you. So, and you know this with your own family and friends that you can have a banana, but then that way we shouldn't believe anything that we haven't done ourselves. Yes, especially when it comes to well-being. I 100% agree. What is the point of believing in something if it's not helping you? Do it yourself. That's what I'm trying to say here. Do it yourself. Take charge of your life and do it yourself. All our formula is based on others' experience. Exactly. And that's why the world is in such a place. But yes, 100% the others' experiences can help. Julie, you're right. They can help. Only if you have the right point of view and only if you know what you're looking for. And we'll get to that. We're a unique individual and therefore we have different things which are good for us. Exactly. So what I'm trying to say is, okay, here's a question. Is banana good for you? Is banana good for you? That's the question. And the answer would be it has potassium, it has high in this, high in that. Yes, see? But what if someone is doing something for his family? Sorry, I just keep missing it, but let me continue. And we'll have like, because I feel good after eating it. Okay, now, a banana good for you is an objective reality. Someone says not for me, someone's not good, someone says no. See, depends on individual physiology. That's right. So what I'm trying to say is a banana is an objective reality, right? Oh, there's someone actually raising their hand. How do I do that, Karan? Someone's raising their hand.
You like to speak to him right now or take it later?
Just give me 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly. Yeah.
so a banana is an objective reality. And the normal way of looking at it is banana good for good? Is a banana good? That's all they ask you. My question to you is, if someone asks me, is a banana good? I would say, okay, first, who is eating it? At what time are they eating it? Are they eating it before something? Are they eating it after? Where did the banana come from? You see? And then what has happened when the person had banana before? I'm a psychologist and bipolar survivor and resonate a lot of what you're saying. Thank you. So the banana has nothing to do with me till I eat it at a certain time of the day, and then I make a decision that this works for me at this time of the day. Right. So, but that way I love eating junk food and makes me so fat. See, you have your answer there itself. Someone can eat junk food like my cousin, he doesn't even put on weight. Right. So it's all about subjective reality. The old model of reality is objective reality. Objective reality separates you. It creates a barrier between you and everything else. Subjective reality includes you because if you really think about this, you have never experienced an objective reality till now at all. Everything has been filtered through you. Okay, I just want to answer this question of Granthana.
Let's, yes, you can unmute yourself. Granthana Maulik, you have a question?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Yes, hi.
No, sir, it's fine. Now it's clarified. Yeah, it's okay. Thank you.
What was it?
Sir, actually, like when we are happy, we actually feel it. Like it's like we feel it in ourselves. It's not something which can be defined by any of the processes. That like it's actually means very subjective. That everyone is happy in a different situation, and it
Yes.
can't be actually defined by the physical processes or the chemical reactions.
Yes, you can't define it because, thank you. So chemical reaction is only one aspect of reality. There are billions of different aspects that we haven't got the language in order to tell you what it is, right? So that's only one aspect. So when you reduce it to just one chemical reaction, then, like, I don't want to get into that side, but it becomes too bland, right? And it becomes very separate. For example, just think about this. If you want to know about flowing water and you pick up this flowing water in a container and you want to know about it in a lab, do you see that it's not flowing water anymore? It's not flowing water. It's not what you started off with. It's not the same thing. And if you measure that, you not get the answer for what you're trying to do. It's impossible, right? Okay, so that's what I was trying to say. But anyways, to move on, reality is subjective. I am the experiencing of reality, I'm the experiencer, so everything has to filter through me. The moment I changed my perception about reality and my well-being this way, something amazing happened. Now I had so much energy and so much passion for my own well-being. Why is it the thing you would make earlier sometimes not make it happy? I'll answer this in a bit. So once I started looking into my own well-being, and I was like, okay, I don't want to know anything about anyone. Cut. Let me see what I feel when I do certain things in my life. Okay? And that's when my life changed. So anything we don't feel ourselves abstract. Are you saying this? Yes, I'm saying everything is abstract till it's in front of you. Because, for example, everyone look at your phone or computer. How many inches do you have on that phone? 7 inches, 8 inches? Can you pick up an inch? No. They're 8 inches in front of you. Can you pick it up? No, it's an abstract. You see, abstract things are good for a certain thing, certain way of life. Yes, 100% I agree, it's good, but not when it comes to well-being, because well-being is not an abstract idea. I know people, yes, it is based on individual perception of reality. I know people, I'm just answering a question. I know people who go to the gym, train hard, eat the right foods, and they feel absolute shit. I was one of those people. I used to feel absolute shit. Why? Because I didn't know what made me happy. I didn't know what was my body's requirement. I didn't know what I was trying to do. You see, it's a collective, it's a subjective collective experience that you have to understand and start looking at life in that aspect. Yes, how can we know that? I'm going to get to that in a second. But are you guys following the idea that I'm proposing to you of taking the lab away, taking away all the abstract ideas and using that energy of all of that into something that filters through you? Right. And then we start. That's the first step we start. Okay. It's the first step of like, okay, let me be the judge of what makes me feel good. Once we start that way, imagine what's going to happen. Now your relationship with everything has changed. So now you've hit a 0 point, because now you realize that, okay, everything is filtering through me. All I have to do is learn how to take care of me. And that's all we're going to do. So well-being becomes an experience. Right. And again, the beauty of this is it's not going to be like you need to eat this, you need to eat that. No. Again, if we do that, then it goes into abstract. We keep it in a really plain and simple. See, it has to be simple. Life has to be very simple. I'm not saying easy. Simple and easy are completely different. It has to be very simple. Right. So the first thing is, I want to introduce this new model. So the old model was broken because of the way that we describe. The new model is you. So what feels good is changeable and temporary. Yes. So I'll get to that. Now, the new model's core principle is balance. Okay, remember this, it's always balance. Why? Let's go to the core of everything. If you really take the whole existence itself, if you take reality itself, you will find that reality is nothing but a vibration. The universe is a vibration, just different forms of vibrations vibrating at different frequencies, and that gives you reality. I'm vibrating at a certain frequency, I get a physical body, same with you, whatever around you. If you really break it down, anything, even the subatomic, is just vibrating, it's a vibration. So if you see, I'm not going to go into abstract because I know it's a vibration because of, I see there's sun and moon, sun goes up and down. I sleep and wake up, it's a vibration. When wind blows, it's a vibration. When water flows, it's a vibration. I'm not using any abstract. I'm only looking at my world of what I know is to be true, not any book. I know that music is a vibration. Music goes on and off. So music is not just sound. Music is sound and silence put together. You see, if I go beep, that's not music. Beep, 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 that's music, on and off. So everything is going on and off. I was like, okay, this is cool. I've observed this. There's night, day, life, death, up, down. I haven't seen any mountain without valleys. They need to come together. That's interesting. I haven't seen matter without space. That's interesting. You see, up and down. So everything is sort of like two things put together, on and off balance. Now, let's use the same thing we've observed into well-being. On and off. Sometimes you feel great, sometimes you don't. When you don't feel great, you balance, bring it back. Bring it back. You see, that's why, to answer your question, it's always going to change because that's the nature of existence. Everything is changing at all points. It's always changing. So your job is to balance. Yes, because construct gives importance to more and more value to other. Yes, obviously. So it's always a contrast. So your well-being is all about balancing yourself. That's all it comes down to. Right. If you feel something like if you feel a bit down, then find out what makes you come back up. For me, chanting. If any day I'm not feeling up, I have to chant. That's something I figured out, to trying out different things. For some people, it might be going for a run. For some people, it might be going to the gym. For some people, it might be something else. You figure out. How long does it take to figure out? Come on, you just like, try a few things, because you're like, okay, what do I want to do? Paint. I want to draw. Okay, I want to dance. Dancing. Everyone should be dancing, I feel. If you dance, suddenly you feel good. If someone comes and says, oh, it releases endorphins and all that, I'm like, I don't care, dude. I actually don't care what it does to me. It makes me feel good. I'm going to dance. That's it. You see, this is what you start forming yourself. It's your own reality. It's your own buzz. There's nothing for you to remember. And during summer, you'll be like, oh, summer, yeah, it's nice. Chanting is doing it. Winter chanting is not doing it. What do I need to do in winter? Ooh, like a nice, sweet potato soup. That does it for me in winter. Okay, I'm going to have that. That really like calms me down. I'm like, yeah, that's it. Or like, whatever, warm shower does it for me. Or for me right now, waking up before the sun does it. And then doing my morning practice, which I'll share with you, that does it. So when a drug makes me feel good, then what? Recreational, otherwise, meds. Yes, obviously it makes you feel good, but if you're really careful, you will see that it makes you feel shit later. Instantly, the shitty parts comes, because if it doesn't come, then you don't need this. And if you're needing this, then obviously there's the other downside that's coming, which means you're not balanced. You're going towards one side. What about relationships with people? That's a completely different story, but it's the same thing. Relationship is only a reflection of who you are, right? If you feel amazing, if I feel good and I walk everywhere, for example, you feel amazing, I feel shitty, and we both walk into the same street. And you're like, oh, look, Vijay, the street is so nice. The birds are out, people are nice. And I'm not feeling good. And someone bumps into me, I fall over. I'm like, this is all shit. This is rubbish. Why? Reality should be the same for us. So you see, it all comes down to how you feel. If you feel good, do you ever notice that if you feel really good, then everything around you seems a bit tolerable? But if you don't feel good, even the slightest thing pushes you over the edge, because it's subjective. It's how you are perceiving it to be, and it's always matching your vibration. That's a different topic, right? So it's all coming down to you. So how much time do I have actually? I hope you guys are enjoying this, because I'm absolutely loving it. How much time do I have?
Say about 25 minutes.
Okay, cool. So because I need to also talk about staying alone. I think I'll just do this and then take a few questions at the end, because there's a lot of questions popping up and I can't really go through all of them. But yeah, basically what I'm saying is it's a balance. Well-being is a balance. And this balance shifts based on people, environment, right? Based on events in life, based on food, based on all these different things. Thank you, Meenakshi. So based on all these different things, you will see your balance goes off. It's not only the food. Your balance goes off because you're in a shitty job or an environment, or you hang out with some people you don't like. It's too much effort. Or you just wake up different. You've had like different dreams, or you've had some alcohol, or you've gone to a party. This balance moves away every single day, because every single day is new. If it's cold outside, I feel different. If it's really warm, I feel different. And then I balance it through the day. That's the game we're all playing. It's coming back to that center of your well-being where you feel good. And this has to be done every day. Remember I described how well-being is freedom? It's the freedom. Once you're balanced, you have the freedom of doing everything you want. Thank you. So once you do that, then you will see. Really want to explain a bit more about balance, please? Yes, sure. So balance is a state of consciousness where you are not pushing or you're not pulling at reality. That's what I mean by balance. Okay. Sorry if I'm jumping a bit here and there, because I'm trying to like really answer all the questions and do this at the same time, but it's kind of fun. Okay. So balance is that state of consciousness where you're not pushing or pulling at reality. It's that middle point. and it's a sense of calm in that place. So that is based on, say, your environment, your interactions with all the other things, which I'll go through now. Okay. When we talk about well-being, we have to realize that we are a being that is, we are taking in information not through our stomach, not just food, because we only look at well-being nowadays as food. I want to introduce an idea called sensory diet. A diet for your senses to create that balance, right? For example, what you see, what you hear, what you touch, what you smell, what you taste. These are all sensory diet. Guys, if you have questions that you want to message me about how to do something in your life, it would be easy if you can drop me a message on Instagram or email me or get in touch with me so I can answer them, because some questions are important, but it's not relevant to this talk. So I have to diverge too much. So I don't want to do that right now. But please drop me your questions on a private message or something later, and I'll go through them, not a problem. So coming back to this topic, sensory diet is basically all your senses put together is your diet, right? For example, some of my friends, if they send me a video, I don't watch the news. I haven't watched the news in about almost 7 years, 6 years. I don't want to know. It's not part of my reality at all, because most of the thing is just like, fuck all. There's nothing interesting happening in that at all, right? So basically the idea is filter all your senses. Would you eat rotten food? No. Why would you watch rotten stuff? Why would you listen to rotten stuff? Why would you touch rotten things? You wouldn't do it. But how much of information that is negative is going through all your other senses, and you eat good food and you think, why am I not feeling good? How silly is that? And most of the time when you're eating, are you even looking at what you're eating? And are you even smelling it, touching it, tasting it? No. You're watching something on TV, some hectic that too, like some next level crime patrol types. Most people love that. Or some educational stuff. I'm not saying even that's good. Your mind's not there. You're just eating like that. Or you're working, you're rushing. Right. So why are you doing these things? Because eat when you eat. Because eating is a conscious 5 senses task. It's not just like, filling your stomach. If it is, then the well-being is only filling your stomach is going to happen. Nothing else is going to happen. Your nutrition is coming your way. You see? So what I started doing was I cut out everything that doesn't make me feel good. So simple. I stopped watching shitty stuff. I stopped listening to shitty music. I stopped listening to shitty podcasts. I stopped everything that doesn't make me feel good. I even stopped touching certain people. I won't let people touch me. Why? Not that I have an ego problem, but touch is a very intense transfer. It's very intense energy transfer. So you have to realize these things. When a clothing touches you, it needs to feel good, right? Because it's a sense organ. Skin's your largest organ. How many times do you care for your skin? No one cares. You put chemicals on it. You put moisturizer and stuff, which is not good for you, without thinking even a second time. And where does the biggest organ absorb all that? Goes into you. So it's like basically having pesticides or chemicals in your food. You see, it's not just that you eat good food and you train and you'll be happy. No, it's not about that. It's sensory diet. Right. So good that we can't rotten stuff. I really wish I could stop. I missed that question. But anyways, so basically you have to, because all the sensory information is going into your consciousness. You see, your consciousness has to be premium. That is well-being, premium consciousness. Right. So now, see, what we've done is taken well-being as an idea of something that's happening in the lab to basically seeing where you are today, right now, and cutting out. Just cut out all the things that doesn't make you feel good. And then the transformation happens. If you're in some sort of a relationship that you have to do it, then that's one aspect that you can sort out later. I can't tell you how to do it, obviously, but if I were you, I would focus on my well-being first and, take time off everything. I promise, I stopped hanging out with all my friends for 6 months when I started my well-being, my transformation. 6 months, I just took time off, figuring this shit out and really focusing my whole consciousness on me. Right. And then it happened. But I'm not saying everyone has to do it, because some people might already be on the journey, and that's fine. But it's about actually focusing on your well-being as the top. There's nothing more important in life than that, than you feeling good. Because if you feel good, your filter is I feel good. And if you feel good, everywhere you go, you're going to feel good. No matter where you go, you're going to feel good. I feel exactly the same way talking to you guys now, as I'll be playing at the party tonight, or just before I was not doing anything, just looking at the roof. I was feeling the exact same way. Right? I don't wake up like that. Obviously, I have to get ready and get to that spot. But that's the best part about my day, getting there. Right. So your well-being is you. You start figuring it out. You start what works for you. Right. And then you start forming your own little book, own little manual. And this manual will have a lot of pages. It'll change over seasons. It'll change. Every season you need to make a new one. But what else have you got to do? Someone's asked me my YouTube channel. I actually haven't got any videos on there, but that's okay. What else have you got to do? Tell me. Right. Everyone else is running around who wants to, yes, giving yourself time is well-being, but depends what you're doing in that time. You give yourself time and stay on your phone for 4 hours, watching other people's lives on something else and watching some shitty shows. It's not going to work, because that is information going into your head. I promise, when I go to Melbourne City, does it mean that we ignore what's happening in the real world? Again, that's a different topic. What do you mean by real? How do you define real world? Vijay, please tell how to form your own manual. Yes. Exploring yourself. Yes, explore your own consciousness. All right. So all these topics about what is real, what is not real. When you dream, you don't know you're dreaming till you wake up. Is that real? How do you know this is not a dream and you're going to wake up somewhere else? How do you know? You can't even guarantee. Just because you knock on things doesn't make things real. Just because everyone's talking about it, that doesn't make things real. How to talk with oneself. Okay. So anyways, let me get to the next topic. I'm sorry, I'm rushing. I don't mind continuing if you guys are more than happy to go for an hour or more, but it depends on you. Okay. So think about sensory diet. Fine tune all your senses. Right, from what you're touching, what you're eating, what you're drinking, what you're smelling. Have good smell around you. Smell is a very underrated in our culture. We only have 2 words to describe smell, and the rest of the words are borrowed from taste. How crazy is that? Sweet is not something that smells. Sweet is from taste. So we've undermined smell in our culture, in the modern culture. Whereas if you notice, dogs live their life by smelling. So smell is a very powerful. We smell each other automatically, but we don't give it thought. It's very important. So smell good things in your life. It's so important. I usually have an incense burning in my room because I love that kind of smoky kind of smell. It makes me feel good. Somehow reminds me of being in India, which is awesome. Right. So think about all these things as part of your well-being. Okay. So now, how do you start this transformation? So before I end, I want to go into a 5-step process I want to share with you so that anyone can use this process to accelerate your transformation, because that's what we're all trying to do. Because once you go on top of the mountain and you live there, the view is nice. You can enjoy it for a longer time. Okay. So the first thing people would think is, good question, how do you transform ourselves? Most people would say it's techniques. A lot of my clients say, Vijay, give me a technique. I want to do this. Or even my family, they're like, give me a technique. My friends were like, bro, what's the technique you're using? How do you explore ourselves for the well-being? Okay. So the first thing is not the technique. People start with technique. They start with some meditation. They start with some yoga. They start with some gym. They start with Pilates. Nowadays there's so many crazy things people are doing. It is not about the technique, guys. Get this clear. There's 5 things that work hand in hand. Okay. I'll go through them one by one. The last is technique. It's like technique is like coriander on your food. You won't have it as a main dish. It's like on the top garnishing. Okay. The first and the foremost thing is all based in the subconscious behavior. in the subconscious mind. What do I mean by that? It's in the part that you're not thinking about. We call it subconscious, but I say it's the part that you're not thinking about. That is the part that where most of your behavior is. If you really think about it, when you're happy, you don't think about it. It's just you start laughing, you start doing whatever without thinking. That part. So that part is the first and the foremost thing. Who do you think you are? Your well-being starts from there. Who do you think you are? Who do I think I am? Okay, someone was waiting for the subconscious part. Cool. Who do you think you are is the most important thing in life. There's nothing more important than that, because that defines everything you do. If I think I'm a nice person, right? What if I hate myself? Yes, see, if you hate yourself, then everything you do is going to carry that filter towards everything you do. So who you think you are is the most important thing. If I walk around like I'm some sort of a megastar DJ and this guru type of guy, then that's who I think I am, then my actions are going to be like that. If I think that, oh, I'm just a normal guy, then I'm just going to think about that. If someone thinks they're God's child, then that's how you're going to live your life. See, you have to firmly believe, right? You have to firmly believe. Aishwarya, if you can drop me a private message later, I can help you out, no problem. So the firm belief is that if you don't feel you're not good enough, then I give you a technique. What is the first response of that technique? That it's not going to work for me. I'm not good enough to do it. Then how's it going to work? You see, the first most part is who do you think you are? Very important. That is in the subconscious, or the part that you don't know is happening. You have to go into those states. Our mind is capable of going there and tweaking it. Okay, that is a different topic, but that's where it happens. Do your research. How do you go into the subconscious and tweak it? Right, you will see that calming down your brain or your mind, basically to go into an altered state with meditation or flotation tanks, is one of the ways to do it. But also telling a different story in your head every day is a way to do it. Right, I use a lot of affirmations for my own life because the job I'm doing is not easy. You know, I'm saying people, hey man, come here, I'll change your life. It's not easy. Some days I wake up and I don't have that confidence. Then I tell myself, Vijay, you're the man. You can do whatever you want. Yeah, you've done it for yourself. You've done it for so many people. You can do whatever you want. And I start dancing. That's what makes me feel confident. I'm like, yep, I'm ready to go do it. See, subconscious. Who do you think you are? And then comes second thing. What are your principles in life? You know what, we all have principles and we all have mantras in which we live life. When I say a mantra, it's like, oh, life is a bitch, or life is amazing, or I'm here to help other people. Why is everyone so mean to me? You know, or life is about getting ahead. These are the things we tell ourselves without even listening. You know, it's deep embedded somewhere within you, which is constantly like beeping. It's like, yep, we have to get ahead. We have to get ahead. We have to get ahead. Next one, next one, next one. I'm chill. I am chill. All these things is your life principles. Right. So who do you think you are influences your life principles. If you think you're, for example, take God's child, then your first thing should be serving. Right. So the serving is going to be serve people. So that'll be your main thing. Right. So then your principle in life is to serve. So you see how everything has shifted for you in terms of well-being, because the happiness comes from something else. You see? So out of the 5 things, the first is who you think you are. Second is your life principles. Right. It is very difficult to change the thinking and perception of others. Why do you want to change others? Right. The thing we're talking about is subjective reality. It's your reality. So I'm not asking you to go change others. If I started to change the government, change my job, change my friends, and change everyone else's behavior, it's so much effort. It's impossible because everyone's like just an asshole. They don't want to change. So then I realized best thing for me to do is change me. I'll change and I'll be happy. Whatever they do, I don't really care. So easy, because I should be at least in my control for a little bit of how I want to do my life. So instead of changing everyone else, I'm going to do it for myself. So I'm going to change who think I am. Yes, I'm going to go, who am I? Not that deeper question of who am I? What role do I want to play? I woke up one day and I'm like, I don't want my engineering job. I want something else. Let me figure that out. What do I want to do? I don't know. Okay, this float thing came up. Go with it. One day I woke up and I'm like, yeah, I want to be a DJ and a producer. right? But then the doubt comes, but then I can do it. If I don't know how to do it, I will fucking figure it out and how to do it, right? Second life principle. First is who I think I am changed. Then second was principle in life. I don't care what other people think about me. One of the biggest principles of my own life. I don't care what other people think about me. This changed everything because now principle in life is changed. Second principle of life, play. Not serious. Sincere. Not serious. Nothing is serious in life. Sincerity, yes. You know, like Alan Watts talks about it. He's like, nothing is serious, but you can be sincere about it. So be sincere and play with life. If you play, it plays back with you. When was the last time you played? No one plays nowadays. You know, if you see nature, nature's always playing. So then I started playing and not giving a care about what other people think. And I started thinking that I am this float guru and I am this DJ guy. You see, I started there. And obviously every day I'm telling myself this. Obviously every day I'm changing my vibe. I'm changing my everything about me. Okay. And then third is line of thought. Line of thought has to be crystal clear. Sorry, this is where the food sensory diet comes. Because line of thought is when it gets foggy, you know, fear, judgment, can I do this? These are all line of thought. Thought is not clear because the input is not clear. The input is rubbish. The output is going to be garbage, obviously. So start purifying, start keeping it tight so that you're playing with it. Get rid of all the shittiness around you as much as you can. Yes, subconscious from childhood. That is an illusion again. Subconscious from childhood is an illusion because yes, it's there, but if you can kind of mold it, you're able to mold it even when you're growing up. It just takes a bit more effort, right? It's all about figuring it out. If it can't be done, then how can people like me and so many other millions of people exist? Even you're not the same person as from your childhood. How to make your thoughts clear? By clearing the input. Clean food that makes you clear. How do I know this? Well, what happens if you have a massive biryani? I feel a bit sluggish. Thoughts are not clear. I want to lazy. I want to sleep. What happens if I have coffee? I'm rushing. I want to go. Yeah. You see how like two different types of foods making me feel different way. But what if I eat something that makes me feel clear, just enough amount so that my mind is like in a nice place? Figure it out. What works for you? And then use that. Get that clarity. Maybe a bit of like yoga, maybe a bit of this, that, whatever you feel to get the line of thought clear. But I'll show you another way of doing it. Subconscious, life principles, line of thought. Line of thought is a result I'll show you. Next comes, so you have discipline. This one is discipline. Without discipline, you cannot get the line of thought clear. You can have these two. Deep down, you believe, deep down, your principles in life are nice. You can have a nice person. You can be the best person on earth. Without discipline, sorry guys, but nothing is going to happen, unfortunately. Why? Because discipline is what gives freedom. Remember I told you the universe is a vibration, it's a wave. You see how it's two opposite waves coming together to make one? If discipline is one wave, which is the peak of the mountain, then the valley is freedom. If I wake up and have solid discipline in my life where I practice my yoga, I practice meditation, I chant, self-discipline, and I eat good food, and I go out for a nature walk and I come back. This is my discipline. Oh my God, my mind is so free. I've done it for the day. I have full freedom. Without this discipline, there is no freedom. People have to realize that because these two things are the same. Yes, everything has discipline. You have to have some sort of a discipline because that's what gives that freedom. You lock your time in and the time frees up. Sense of control and discipline are different. Right. Discipline is a process. Sense of control is a mental battle you have. Right. It's a completely different thing. Discipline is a process. Discipline, yes, discipline is what's going to change your life. Out of all of these things, go subconscious, start believing you're someone different, start, changing your life principles, And for example, if everyone's out to get you, start thinking that no, people are nice. People are nice. It's okay. And you will see nice people come up around you. Discipline. What I mean by discipline is, just for your sense or my sake, what I do is I've split my being in a few parts, which I can work on, constantly build upon. For example, my body. So I enjoy going for walks. If you're not motivated enough for discipline, your line of thought is not clear. And you have to change that. Positive thinking is important. That's a result of how your discipline is. Sorry, 1 second, I'll come back to discipline. So I first focus on my body, because if my body doesn't feel good, no matter how good I am, if my back is hurting, my leg is hurting, I have no energy, I can't do much. So I thought, okay, guys, let me set a discipline for my body where I'm practicing a bit of yoga, practicing a bit of, climbing up some stairs or going for a walk, because I like it to be gentle. I came from a hectic scene. I don't enjoy that because that wasn't good for me. For my body type, I like it gentle, but with a motion and a bit of dancing. I love that. So that's for my body. And then obviously my mind is going to, because obviously I'm interacting with other people and clients, so my mind is not going to be crystal clear. So it's all over the place when I wake up. So then what I do is I bring my mind into a center point where I can learn how to focus, because discipline creates focus, you see. So once I focus on things, then I stay there through chanting and my mind is done for the day. And then for me, for my spirit, so I enjoy playing drums or mridangam or work on my music and eat good. So that's my spirit, play with some animals or whatever I feel like doing that day. For my spirit, for my, for my being as a sense. These three things I do. That's my discipline. You see? So you can have your own set of discipline to find out what makes you happy. Because having a fit body is a thing for me. So I use that. If it's not for you, you don't have to, because you don't feel like it. But you can find singing, chanting, dancing, meditation, whatever you feel like, do that. But it has to be something that, it pushes you slightly. And it's kind of like that. Because your mind then tune. Remember I told you well-being is a tune? The tune becomes that, yes, I can do it. Yes, I can do it. That tune starts to play. So all the positive thoughts start to come. Negative thoughts go down. Motivation comes. Because the way you do one thing is the way you do everything, by the way. So if I'm doing a yoga posture and if I'm like holding it and for 10 seconds, it's like, oh, I'm done. But if I tell myself, Vijay, you can do it for 1 more second, that extra 1 second push is the one. Okay, they say some Vedic knowledge will be shared. Okay, I might be overboard, but I'll share that. Okay, you see what I'm saying? Discipline. And then the last one is technique. Techniques as in yoga, meditation, gym, running, and all that. You see how if you just use the technique, it's not going to work. Discipline needs to be there. Then your line of thought is clear because your life principles and who you think you are is clear. You have discipline and you have the right techniques. Then instantly your mind is going to be clear. You know what you want in life. You know what to do with your time, and you know how to take care of yourself. None of this is done in a lab. It's all done with you. Okay, is that clear? Because to answer that question about the Vedic side, I do want to get into that. I don't know how much time I have. Karan, should I take questions?
If you're done with the principle, I mean, you've taken questions throughout, Vijay. I think it's amazing how you're able to balance what you were able to get through and taking the questions. So yeah, it's really amazing, man. So up to you. If if you like to take questions verbally, like you'd like to talk to someone, we can take a couple questions and we can give them a way to get in touch with you and us and ask questions later on as well. So that's honestly up to you. I'm really enjoying myself. And
well, if there's like 10 more minutes, if you guys want to still stay for 10 more minutes, I don't mind like going through a bit of Vedic ideas that I've come across.
Sure. Let's go ahead. Let's keep it tight and yeah, I'm as I said, there's a lot of learning and love to. I'm sure everyone's saying yes in the chat box, as you can see.
Okay, cool. Okay, thanks guys. Yeah, so now the Vedic way of looking at life. What do I mean by that? So what I'm trying to say is Veda is to see, right? It's like it's wisdom. It's to see. Videl, which is the fifth mantra is techniques. Okay, so Veda is to see. Videl, which is the view. So the Vedic way of looking at life is the view that you're going to see life with, which is unique to you, right? And the view will only come from your human experience, right? So let me just quickly tell you what I mean by that. If you think about it, everyone, again, I go back to the same abstract idea of you're breathing in oxygen. I've never seen oxygen in my whole life. I know that I'm breathing in air. That I know. Then I know I drink water. Right. Then I know that I have fire in me, as in I burn energy when I use some work because I feel the heat. And I know that I'm made out of earth, which is the food that I eat. Right. And I know that there is space within my body. You see, I'm not using any abstract stuff. It's just 5 different things I'm seeing: fire, water, earth, air, and space. We all have it. If you change the proportion with me, I become me, then change the proportion, you become you. So the Vedic view is so simple. These are the 5 things that you and I can see. I'm not a scientist. You don't have to be a scientist or some sort of a rishi somewhere. You're like, dude, even I can see this. So let's use this. Then what I'm trying to do is, okay, I have eyes, I have nose, I have mouth, I have ears, and I have skin. These are my 5 sense organs. You can see it, I can see it, I can feel it. You see, everything is there within me. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Now, then the next thing, so 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 elements of human experience: fire, water, earth, air, and space. I can see there's sun, which is fire, wind that's blowing air, there's water, there's earth, and there's space everywhere. Boom, 5, earth has it, I have it. Then 5 senses. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. If you notice, when fire comes in touch with eyes, it forms light. Without your eyes, there is no light. You can never know because it's subject to reality. You can't even prove it to me. If you close your eyes, if you're all beings without any eyes, we wouldn't know there's light. If you have no ears, you wouldn't know there's sound. So space and sound, ears come together to make sound, right? Nose and earth comes together to make smell. It's an experience. There's no smell going around in the universe just by itself. There needs to be a human with a certain kind of a mind, or some being which has a nose which can process some sort of a thing in the earth to give it smell. Skin. If my skin was made out of rubber, I wouldn't feel the temperature change. I wouldn't feel the wind. But my skin is a membrane which enables air for me to feel as touch. There's no touch existing in the universe. There's no sound going around. I need to be there in order for me to experience it. Or a mic has to be there. But the mic, again, has to be something that I can hear. See? And then you have taste, your tongue and water. It has to be taste. So 5 plus 5 plus 5. 5 elements, 5 senses, and 5 experiences that comes with it. 15. It's a Vedic way of life. 15 things. And then I don't know how to beat my heart. None of you guys know how to beat your heart. If someone's a doctor and they know how to beat their heart, fine, but they can't do it better than you or I. How did I know how to do this? I don't know. I don't know how to grow my hair. I don't know how to grow my bones. It just, I am doing it. I can't say it's automatic. I am doing it, but the part of me that does it, I don't have access to it. It's super conscious. The only things that I actually can do is move my arms when I want to, move my legs for movement here and there. I can speak, right? I can speak, I can reproduce, and I can excrete. These are the only 5 things I can do as a human. There's nothing else I can do. Everything else falls into a subcategory of this. Like eyelids would be motion, which is again a motion, but even that is happening automatically. I'm not thinking about it. Breathing is happening automatically, right? So 5 elements, 5 senses, 5 experiences, and 5 things to act. 20. Then I know that I have a memory because I can remember things, right? And I know that there's a sense of I that exists. I am there. That I know for sure. 2. Another thing is I can take information and make a decision about it, yes or no, kind of like an intelligence. like yes or no, I want to come for this chat, I don't want to go for this chat. Intelligence, discrimination power I have. And the fourth one I have is manas, a sense of feeling, an emotion. I feel it. I don't know what it is until I label it, but I have a feeling. Not the feeling that I am there. This I is feeling something. That's manas. It's very hard to translate. 4. 20 plus 4, 24. And then that's a basic thing we have to realize, that these 24 things, again, are not done in a lab. You, I, everyone can experience this. It's the Vedic view of life. Using this, if using this, we start to map out our reality, then it's common reality, common ground for everyone, knowing the fact that it's subjective. So tomorrow when you come up and say, hey man, I'm feeling this, I wouldn't be like, no, that's not possible because I can't prove it. No, I'll be like, that's true for you. Good. I respect that. Different kind of life, different kind of living. That's what I mean by Vedic approach, which ties up with what we have been talking about of having a subjective reality, of using these 24 elements and seeing where you want to change and then fine-tuning it. So it's a subjective world and you are the filter that's going through. So to finally sum up what I was talking about in the session, well-being is down to you, and you have to figure out, that's your journey of what makes you feel good, right? And you have to figure it out, not using abstract stuff, but your own being, and by trying it out yourself, right? Yes, you can talk to people about it and find out, hey, what makes you feel good? They'll be like, oh, this makes me feel good. Be like, oh, maybe I should try that. It's trial and error process, but eventually you will come up with your own thing, right? So you can have basically a morning routine, which I have, or something you are, and then an evening routine just to wind down, and start taking care of your sensory input, sensory diet. And you don't have to try. Automatically, your line of thought gets clear. Automatically, you will see you have positive thoughts because all the rubbish is gone. Automatically, you will start to think you're someone different. Automatically, your life principle will change. And then finally, your techniques will start working, and then you'll become a master at your own well-being. I hope you guys enjoyed my evening routine. So I shower in the evening again, just to fully wash down the day. And then I have a little meditation, and then I really focus on what I want to eat. I make something nice. And after I've eaten, I watch something that I'm interested in, just to it depends if I'm in a fun zone or if I'm in a learning zone, or I just make music, and then I wind down and sleep. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't know, looks like you did, but yeah, please, any questions, let me know. Karan, how do we do this?
Yeah, no, this is great, Vijay. As I said, I think you've taken every single question that was there in the chat box, which is commendable, right? While getting your point across so crisp and clear. So thanks, Vijay. Honestly, this was a really, really, really amazing session. And as you can see through the chats, it's just flooded with positive energy, which they're giving out, and it's a lot of love towards going your way. So thanks, Vijay. And
Juhi has a question.
Okay.
I had the best time talking to you guys. It was so interactive. I loved it.
Right. So as Vijay said, there's a lot of questions.
Anastasia has a question. No, she's like, thank you for the wisdom. I know her.
Okay, so the questions, as you said, there's you can reach out to us as Vijay said, or through our Instagram handles, and you can ask your questions there, because we have only so much time, right? And we've tried to cover pretty much everything. So I'm going to share that, because a lot of you asked how do you connect with Vijay, and I'm just going to share that with you guys. So y'all can use, of course, his Instagram handle is the Float Guru, which is right here. So you can of course follow him and ask him his questions, ask him your questions that you have. And of course, where we are on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So if you all wanted to recap the session, it's going to be on our YouTube page. You all can head out using the link that's going to be shared here as well as in the feedback email. And y'all can recap this, read with, was a lot to consume, right? So you can relearn, revisit this. This will be online for a while. And we've got a self-care community on Facebook. The whole idea, Vijay, what we're trying to do is trying to get people to open this dialogue, right? Like what you've done today. You were open to their questions, each and every question, and you were able to answer each question to the best of your ability, right? And that's what we're trying to do: open up a dialogue and not enforce our views, but open the dialogue, which we did today very beautifully. So reach out to us. You know where we are, and like we've done today, we have some fun sessions coming up. We do these virtual campfire stories every quarter, so we have that tomorrow.
Cool.
It's with this young boy who's trying to climb Mount Everest, making terrariums,
Wow.
the time management, and we're going to teach you how to create your own vision board for 2021. Like we were saying, the whole month is on self-care. We are going through an unplug challenge, which which I mentioned to you, where we're telling people to take time out for themselves, right? So, something similar to what you're saying. First step. I recall, right? The first step, know themselves. So that's what we're trying to do. The first step, so join us for any of our upcoming sessions. It's on our website or our Instagram. Y'all can check out our Instagram, and y'all can see the list. All of them are free, of course. All of them is for you to further your passion and for better yourselves. And as we said, we're all about a community and collaboration. So if you think you have knowledge, or you think in any way you can give back with your skill, do reach out to us. We're always open to collaboration. The whole idea is the community can help each other and create this beautiful world, right? So yes, do let us know if we can help in any way. And of course, if you like to keep us going and continue giving these free sessions, you can help keep us going using the link that we're going to share on the chat box right now, as well as in the reminder email. So thank you again, all of you who've attended, and Vijay, a really big thank you to you for this wonderful, enlightening session. For sure. I'm going to go back and revisit this myself, honestly, because a lot of takeaways. I was trying to manage everything, but I want to, sit down and be present and view it as well. So thanks, Vijay, for this really beautiful session. Enjoy your set that you're going to play. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. And
it's the first party after lockdown, so everyone's pretty much gagging for a bit of bass in their face. So anyone who's messaged me privately, if you can just message me on Instagram, that's a bit easier for me to answer. Sorry for the trouble, but I don't know once we leave this conversation if I can access those messages. So anyone who's messaged me or would like to know more or have a chat, just message me on my Instagram, and then I will take the time to reply to all of you.
Awesome. Exactly. So make time, understand yourself. Vijay is kind enough to answer your questions. So use the tools that were given to you today and make time for yourself. So thank you, all of you. And I'll see you all very soon.
And thank you, Karan. Thank you for sorting this out. And it's amazing what you're doing. And more than happy to jump on again in the near future for you guys with something new.
I think we'll need a longer one. And but yes, we'll love to do it very, very soon, Vijay. So let's definitely connect.
And thanks everyone for tuning in and to keep it engaged. So I really enjoyed it. And look forward to getting in touch with everyone.
See you guys.